Hello, friends, gentlefolk, and fellow daddy-daters. We are back with a little surprise. So, we just finished the 6th and final stream of Dream Daddy earlier today, Sunday, and we, and by we I mean Jana and myself, were thinking about some of the things that we might want to save for future streams, and some of the things that we didn't really particularly feel that strongly about playing or streaming, and so we were going to maybe watch a couple of playthroughs. And one of the things that we were really intrigued by was this supposed extra ending for which reveals something rather insidious about his character. So I was looking for some playthroughs that we could watch while we ate dinner, because that's what we do. And then I realized that I didn't really want to watch somebody else play it. I wanted to play it myself. And I know that a lot of people were really interested in it, but I'm impatient and curiosity got the best of me. So we are going to do it now at 11:30 on Sunday night. Jana is sitting beside me off camera, so you will see me turn and talk to her. There's her hand. So it is the two of us, so you may also catch some of her on the mic, I hope, at least. I apologize for not doing this on a live stream, and I am more than happy to do that if folks would want to experience it in real time, but I'm super curious about it, so I want to play it. Y'all, this is your last chance to turn back if you don't want spoilers for the secret ending of the game, so now would be the time to get out of the window and go do something else. In 3, 2, 1. So the cult ending, which is what it is called, as you'll see down here, was something that people found in the code of the game. So people were going through and data mining, which is essentially, for those who don't know, data mining is when you go through all of the files of a game or something, and you try to find out secrets based on the code or the way that files are named. And somebody found the code for this ending in the files for the game, but it's not accessible within the game. So some really smart, really dedicated people extracted that code and exported it into a playable file, which I have just downloaded off the internet, and now we are gonna play it. So let's see. Roblox side, disable, skip, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this is all just, like, I just wanted to see what the preferences were. So as you can see from the UI here, like, this is very clearly, like, not an official thing. It is its own file. It is its own, like, interface. I have nothing to load, so I can't load anything. And about, okay. Okay, I wanted to see if there was any kind of, like, any credit or anything to the person who exported it. So whoever did this, thank you so much for doing this work, for those of us who want to play this thing that's not quite in the game yet. So let's get started. Oh my good golly. Okay. What time is it? Must have been asleep for ages. I wonder what'll happen now that Mary's gone. What about Joseph's kids? Oh, so there is an ending, I guess, where Mary leaves.
Okay.
Because the dialogue says, I wonder what will happen now that Mary's gone.
Huh. Alright.
What is history? Interesting. Okay. And how will Amanda feel about all of this? Well, we have each other. That's what matters. So I guess this is supposed to be like an alternative version of an ending where you end up with Joseph, which I suppose means that Mary is out of the picture. I guess time will tell, right? Better get up and greet the day. That's the symbol that I saw on the cross.
You were like, that looked weird.
Oh, Jesus. Wait. Am I tied up? What the hell? How did I get here? What is going on? Oh, Dad, Sona. Joseph? Anybody? Don't panic. You're probably just dreaming. Why would there be a dungeon? An evil dungeon? Why would there be an evil dungeon here? This can't be real. Maybe I had too much Twilight Rouge. I'm dreaming, or something. Oh god, I bet that's Joseph, isn't it? I'm gonna assume it's Joseph, and I'm gonna do Joseph's voice, but I don't know. Oh, I guarantee this is real. I see someone at the end of the hall. It's just a shape. I can barely make out any features. Who's there? Can you untie me?
Maybe it's Mary.
Oh, maybe it is Mary. It's a personal guarantee. A verbal handshake. Trust, if that's what you get off on. Please, I don't know how I got here. I think there's been a mistake. You trust me, right? No, it's Joseph.
Okay.
It's Joseph. Also, the game itself is, like, squished. This is not, like, a resolution issue with the video or anything. Like, the game window itself just shows him kind of squished like that. I mean, why wouldn't you? Joseph? Jesus, what is this? Are you into this kind of thing? I wish you'd have warned me. Into this kind of... Ha! Ha ha! I always liked you, Pastel. Goal-oriented, anchored by family. The rock in shallow sea. And down to pound, if you catch my meaning. I had a whale of a time last night. So this must be after a different... the ending where
Yeah.
you sleep with him, I guess. Get it? Whale? We talked extensively about whales last night. You don't really like them? You're not in a joking mood. I get that. His voice is different. This whole situation is different. The way he's talking, it's... dastardly? Sadistic? It can be both. Throw another one in there. Wrathful. That one's good. Wait. How did he know what the fuck I was thinking? I'm very perceptive. A good listener. I heard all those impure thoughts, Pastel. And about a married man, no less. I'm pretty sure that's a sin. Who are you? I told you. I'm a cool youth minister. Have you seen my tattoos? Were you even watching me tear it up on the dance floor? You used to be a lot more fun. Well, hi. My name's Joseph. I have an alcoholic whore wife whose life I destroyed. Poor Mary. And their kids. Joseph laughs. My kids? Those aren't my kids. Well, they are my kids, in a way. Cosmically. I guess you call them vessels. And in that case, I guess that technically makes me not a dad. Whoops. Sorry to kill that little fantasy for you. Joseph, this is insane. So the whole minister thing, that's just a front for this weird sex stunt? Joseph starts laughing hysterically. He wipes a tear from his eye. Oh, that's so cute! You think this is a sex thing! I mean, it's kind of a sex thing. The safe word is Jimmy Buffett. God. It's still funny, even though it's horrible. Pastel, there are powers at work so far beyond your understanding that the very idea that I would sink to some half-baked sex game is a little insulting. All that religion mumbo-jumbo wasn't entirely false. I am a man of cloth, just not the cloth you're thinking of. I am the conduit for something beautiful, Pastel, something pure, and you have the honor of being part of it. I know that sounds kinda hokey, but stick with me. I promise I'll get back to being relatably cool in a second. Where you really are is under the house. Or, I guess, under the houses. The houses? Are we under the cul-de-sac? Hey, deductive reasoning. Points for Pastel. How did nobody notice a dungeon underneath the town? Somebody would have had to. All dead. Everyone who figured it out, that is. And it's not a dungeon. Dungeons are for old castles and 12-year-olds. This place is... How would I describe it? Inhabiting many spaces. The betweens of the world. The gaps in mathematics. It's quite simply beyond you, I'm afraid. Just think of it as the real Margarita Zone. Jesus Christ. This is too much. My head hurts. Pastel, ever wonder where all the wives and husbands in town went? Why, everyone's an eligible single father. I just thought it was a coincidence. Nothing's a coincidence, idiot. No town in America has such a concentration of eligible, willing dads. And you want to know why? I don't know if I do, Joseph. Because of me. Because of my work. Because of my loyalty. Loyalty? You're insane. Profoundly. How many couples have I pushed to divorce? How many wives and husbands have I hunted in the dark? Wait. Amanda's, well, dad in our playthrough. Cora. It can't be. I unfortunately can't take credit for that one. It seems entropy beat me to the punch. I don't know if that's a relief or not. But man, what if I had? The look on your face would have been priceless. Maple Bay is a psychic beacon of unfathomable power, but it requires sacrifice. It needs to feed on those deep, unquenchable pangs of anguish. And all to get these very good friends of ours here in my town, and my father's tower, and his father before him, hurting for human touch, praying for the salvation of kindness. I don't understand. Of course you don't. You were out there gallivanting about, seducing all the hottest single dads, meddling in something you have no understanding of, a greatness you could not conceive. Out there in the dark of sea lies something that has been waiting to return for 100 million years. It showed me the path to Jonah, my ancient ancestor, as it has shown the path to me. And I will fuck each dad whose life I destroy until the shame and stink of their failures has returned our eternal king to life. The fuel of 100,000 rank darknesses of soul. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. What the fuck?
Ooh.
I kind of understand why this is not in the game.
Yeah,
That is so many things. Whew.
Okay.
Wow. Do you have anything you'd like to say? What about Amanda or I'll kill you? That's the last thing I do.
Oh dear.
I know.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna have any mercy. I don't think he gives a shit about Amanda.
No, I don't think
But
so.
I think we would ask about her.
Yeah. I really do want to threaten him, personally, but...
Yeah.
What about Amanda? Just kidding! You don't get to choose. I know you're used to being in control here, but now it's my turn. And don't worry yourself about Amanda. If you touch her, please, Pastel, give me some credit. Look at my pedigree. If I do my job, I won't even have to. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's some other business I need to attend to. Your dear friend Robert has been awfully worried about you. I think it's about time that miserable drunk gets one last visit from the Dover ghost.
Ah! It was him!
Oh my God, it
Yes,
was
with
him!
the body!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I really thought
Oh
that
my
was
God!
Ah!
Oh my God!
Okay, okay.
This is a nightmare.
Yeah.
A beautiful nightmare, wouldn't you agree? All along you've been living a dream, Daddy. And now it's time to wake up. Oh man, this is bad. How long was I out? When is he coming back? How do I get out of here? A hand slips over my mouth. I don't know who's what. Oh, you think it's Mary? Okay, I'm gonna act like it's Mary. Don't say anything. Hell, don't even think anything. Question mark. Yay!
Ah!
Our hero! It's okay, Pastel. It's me. I'm gonna get you out of here. She kneels down and starts working on the ropes around my ankles. I gotta be honest, I didn't like you at first. I guess I did try to break up your marriage. Shut up for once. Look, truth is I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for the both of us. I don't think you're a bad person, despite what you might think of me. I don't want it to end like this. Not again. I raise my eyebrows at her. Oh, come on. Who do you think lived in that house before you? Don't think about it. Not right now. He's coming. Run, kid. Mary finishes untying me and disappears. I have to get out of here. I get out of the chair and run as fast as I can down the hallway outside of my holding cell. Eventually, I run out of breath. I can't keep sprinting. Not with these dad knees. I check myself. All I have are the clothes on my back and this thing in my pocket. The pocket knife that Robert gave me. If I have to defend myself, this is all I have. Looking ahead of me, I can't see the end of the hallway. It bends further up there. I look back and can't even see where I started. I guess the only thing I can do is keep going and hope there's a way out on the other end. If there is another end. The hallway bends and twists. Sometimes it gets smaller to the point where I have to crawl on my hands and knees to get through. Sometimes it expands into a great cavern where I can't even see the ceiling. I see no other way out other than to keep moving forward. I don't know how long I've been walking, but my body aches with soreness. I'm long past dehydration. My head is pounding. My vision is blurred. I lean up against the walls of the hallway for support. I'm not sure how I'm still going. And yet, still, here I am. I've been walking for what I think must be days. It could be weeks, months. Who the fuck is that?
I don't know.
The exhaustion has sunk into my bones. I drift in and out of consciousness. I think I've slept, if you can call it sleep. My dreams are plagued with nightmares of being chased down this hallway. I see Joseph's kids. They hide in the shadows. They're coming to drag me back to Joseph. Oh God, Joseph. I can see his face so clearly in those dreams. I don't know why I keep moving, why I keep placing one foot in front of the other. My clothes are tattered and my shoes are worn through. My hell is inescapable. Until it's a door. A door at the dead end of the hallway. I place my hand on the knob, seeing for the first time my gnarled fingernails and stretched, papery skin. I open the door and walk through. I'm in my house? How did that... Dad! Amanda rushes into the room, wrapping her arms around me in a ferocious bear hug. Where have you been? Are you okay? I tried calling you like 30 times. Amanda? What happened? Did the boat break down or something? You know what? I'm just glad you're home. I look down at myself and my clothes. They're there. My shoes are on. My fingernails aren't gnarled. I feel fine. I hug Amanda again. Nothing has ever felt as good in my entire life. I choke back tears of relief. Amanda, I'm so glad to see you. You have no idea. Wow, one night at sea. You didn't see a whale, did you? You poor thing. No whale could keep me from my daughter. You're damn right. You know what? You need breakfast. A very greasy breakfast. That sounds amazing. Amanda skips out of the room. This is all so confusing. Was it a dream? By the way, is it okay if Emma P comes over tonight? Emma P? You know, my best friend. Oh, sure. Wait, I thought... Isn't Emma R your best friend? She has red hair, you do art together. You pooped in her bed during that sleepover one time? Oh, right. My mistake. Teenager brain, you know? I sit down on the couch, suddenly very exhausted. All I want is to have a big plate of hash browns with my daughter by my side while I quietly work on my word jumbles. I think it says I'd pick up my trusty book of word jumbles. This is a crossword puzzle. I stare at it for too long. Hey, Amanda? Amanda pops her head in from the kitchen. Working hard on these eggs, Dadtron. If you want the perfect over medium, I gotta be in the zone. When's your birthday? Why? Did you get me something? No, seriously. When's your birthday? My birthday? Dad, really? Do I have to answer this? I've seen a lot of weird stuff today, Amanda. Humor me. My birthday is... It's... Oh, shit.
Knew it.
Oh, shit. Nothing gets past you, huh? You know, I almost had you going there for a sec. Was it the crossword puzzle that gave it away? You know, I try so hard to nail the details. Like cooking you breakfast over medium eggs with hash browns. Come on. That's so you. And my Amanda impression? I really think I stuck the landing on her irreverent yet wholesome tone. The whole Manic Pixie's dream daughter thing. I should have been on Broadway with these chops. I feel like you're not appreciating how much work I've put in here. Amanda turns ash black, her clothes, hair, and bracelets collapsing into concentric rings of pitch dark smoke. Cracks begin to form along the walls around me. I look down and see the floor collapsing in tiles. As the walls crumble, I see where I truly am. Almost got away, huh? Dunno how you got out of those ropes. You're a crafty one, aren't you? Mary. Oh, right, Mary. She's rocking the tag team with you, isn't she? Funny. Here I was thinking marriage was about trust. You know, I thought I was going to take care of Robert, and then here you were trying to make your escape, and honestly, Pastel, you're just killing my whole timeline here. Wait, Robert. As quick as I can, I pull his folding knife out of my pocket and lunge for Joseph, throwing all my force into him. Joseph knocks the knife out of my hand. It skitters across the room. Oh, man. Pastel, I thought we were cool. I thought we had a thing here. What happened to Margarita Zone? Well, sorry, bud, but I guess I'm gonna have to do you dirty. Doing you dirty means I have to kill you. Joseph wraps his hands around my neck, smiling as he tightens his grip. What's wrong? You were into this last night. I have no strength left to fight him. This is it, isn't it? The world goes quiet around me. All I can think about is Amanda. I miss her so much. Sorry, Amanda. I love you more than anything. Please be good. Joseph's eyes go wide. He releases his grip on me and I gasp in air. Oh, I'm not being choked anymore. Oh my god, that art!
Yeah, that's pretty.
Holy hell! It's over, Joseph. Honey, sweetie, you stabbed me. You stole so much of my life from me. Joseph backs away from Mary, clutching the wound on his shoulder. Sweetheart, we can work this out. I'm done with you. Oh my god, the kids. Look at his eyes. Jesus. Father. Chris peeks into the doorway behind Mary. He looks different. Behind him are Christian, Christy, and Krish, who all creep into the room. Father, we're so hungry. Won't you feed us, Father? Mary turns to me and holds out a hand. Hey, sailor. It's time to go. The children corner Joseph as I crawl to Mary, who pulls me into the hallway. I look back into the room at the horror I had escaped. It's... The more I look at it, the more it seems to break my mind. I turn away, my head pounding. This body is but a conduit, Mary. I'll see you in your nightmares. What the hell? My eyes open and I shoot up in bed, gasping for air. Dad! Amanda leaps off the chair in my room and attacks me with a hug. Amanda! This is the best hug of my life. I was so worried about you. I'm so happy to see her again. Wait. Amanda, what's your birthday? Dad, did you forget again? It's March 22nd. You got me a record player and we ate an ice cream cake at the beach, but then I dropped the ice cream cake and got sand all over it. Remember? I do remember that. Oh, Panda, I missed you so much. What happened? You don't remember? The yacht sank. The rescue crews had to pull you out of the water. That was a few days ago. Where's Joseph? They found something in the yacht wreckage. Some documents that showed he was embezzling funds from the church. Nobody's seen him since. There's a detective here who's been waiting to talk to you. He's nice, but he's drinking all of our coffee. Let me go grab him. Wait. Yeah? Amanda, I love you so much. I love you too, Dad. Amanda skips out of the room, and in a moment, Mary enters with the guy I saw in the hallway. Rise and shine, bucko. Mary, are you okay? You know, it was a real shame what happened to Joseph. I had no idea he was doing what he was doing to the church. And I can't believe he ran once the feds showed up, leaving me to take care of our 4 beautiful children on my own. But don't worry, they're staying with my parents out in the Midwest till this all blows over. Mary stares at me, waiting for me to say something. Good answer. Glad to see you've both got your story straight. I'm so happy you're okay. I was worried about you. Thanks, Mary. Mary cracks a smile before turning and leaving my room. I knew she was good, people. I knew she was good.
Just had some problems.
She's going through some shit.
I mean, you know, how do you have a husband who's murdering people and not have some problems?
Right? And look, there is nothing super wrong with going out to bars and flirting with some strangers. Is it the most honest thing you can do if your partner doesn't know about it? No. But the bartender said she never went home with anybody. She never did anything with anybody. So, you know, as far as
she just wanted
things
some
go,
attention.
right, she just needed some attention. And had Joseph not been a murderer, then maybe they could have worked it out. So, you know, I think Mary gets a bad rap. Also, like, take it sleazy, fellas. My personal favorite is deuces, nerds.
Oh
My favorite Mary thing. Once the door closes, the man pulls up a chair and sits next to my bed. You don't know me, but I know a lot about you, Pastel. Been keeping tabs on you for a while. Who are you? Graves. Detective Saul Graves. There's strange and mysterious forces at work here in Maple Bay. What you saw down there, what we both saw down there, I don't know if I'll ever be able to forget it. And I get the feeling that you won't be able to either. But it's my job to get to the bottom of this. So what does this mean for me? It means live your life like none of this ever happened. Go be happy. Go raise your daughter. Go fall in love. Be well, Pastel. Saul walks to the door of my bedroom, but stops. He turns to me. And I know it's hard to raise a kid as a single parent. Even I lost my wife under mysterious circumstances. Little Barry and I have been on our own for a while now, and if there's one thing I have learned through all of this, it's that us dads have to help each other out. Get some rest. But if you're not doing anything later, maybe you give me a call. Did I just get hit on by the detective who just saved me from being murdered?
He gets added to the dad book after that.
Oh my god, I
and you
wish!
can date the Detective Graham.
What the hell?
Make a very sexy baby.
Thanks to your loyal Coyote, DJ USA.gi, Big and Very Sexy Boy, and everyone else from the DDaDDS, which also, if you notice the acronym for the game, spells out the word dads. Love it. Discord servers for all of your help. Thank you to all of those people for loading this game out. Glad to have you on this wild ride. Now go play something canonical. Whew. Well, that was a thing that happened.
I wonder, I mean, you know, I'm glad that they didn't put that in the real game because, like, that would be kind of a not great thing to have in a game that is actually really, like, nice and lovely.
Yeah, I was reading a couple of articles about the cult ending, and there was, I don't remember if this was, like, an exact quote from somebody, or if this was, like, speculation, but there was talk of, like, how, and a lot of people have said this, and I myself were even pleasantly surprised at how positive the queer representation was, like, that, like, yes,
Absolutely.
The whole concept of the game is kind of silly, in a sense, you know, like, you make a game about dads dating dads, like, that's inherently silly, but, like, the silliness never was rooted in the fact that it was queer. It was always, like, it's always rooted in something else. Like, when a character acts absurdly, or, like, a situation is funny, it's never because, like, it's funny to be gay. Like, that's never the thing that the joke is about. And I was reading that, like, either it was explicitly said, or it was speculated that this was not added to the game, even though it was created because of the desire to not want to perpetuate the idea of queer people being, I mean, not that queer people can't be complicated people,
right,
but, like, the trope of the queer person who ends up being the villain.
Right. Which I very much appreciate because, like, especially with some of the specific ways in which he references what he's doing.
Yeah.
And saying, like, talking about all of these things being sins, and specifically saying that he's going to fuck all of the dads, and use that as, like, the way to, like, raise this giant, like, ancient evil is, like, okay, I would actually be super not okay with that being part of the game.
Yeah, if we stumbled upon that ending somehow, I would have been real mad.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate them not making that decision. I mean, you have to think about the fact is that they wrote it.
Yeah.
So, like, there was a point in time where somebody did think that this was a good idea, but, like, that's writing, though. That's a process. Do you know what I mean?
You're
like, you have an
idea,
and then sometimes you start to implement that idea, and then what happens is, like, once you start to see it coming into fruition, and you're like, oh, no, that is a mistake.
Right. And that's part of creating.
Right. So I don't want to vilify them for, like, doing this, because sometimes that's just what a creative process is like. You have to have shitty ideas sometimes, and the fact that they came up with the idea and got so far even as to code it, but then decided to not push it out with the full game, like, I don't want to vilify that decision because, like...
Right. I'm curious about whether they decided to go ahead and code it, and whether they decided to put that in the game. Like, whether they decided to go ahead and create that portion of the game with or without knowing that they were going to put it in the game.
Yeah, and I don't know what the process was like. I know that there were, like, multiple writers, and...
Yeah, I wonder if they put the game together and got opinions from people testing.
Yeah, maybe that was, like, in a beta test, somebody was like, hey, you guys know this is, like, super fucked, right?
Yeah,
and then
like,
they were like, oh, yeah, you're totally right, this is super fucked.
And I'm like, yeah, nope, nope.
Yeah.
Big nope.
Big nope. Big nope for sure.
And it feels so strange because, like, I mean, I guess, you know, like, this is not exactly canon because it is not in the game, but it feels like references to this exist before we get to that point.
Yeah.
So it feels like there is a level of, like, this is going on, or something with him is going on, which makes me feel a little weird about it. Because there is that, like, that symbol that we noticed in his place, and, like, his kids are real fucking weird the whole time.
Yeah.
And, you know, with everything that's going on with Mary, it does seem like it's more than they're just having trouble in their relationship. So. Yeah.
I don't know, like, I would need to play through more of the game, but, like, I hope you are able to get more story from Mary in the game canonically, because...
I don't know about her life.
We didn't see a whole lot. Like, we know that she and Joseph are having trouble, but, like, we don't really get any information about, like, and not that it's our business to know that, but, like, we learn so much about the dads, and then Mary is, like, she's not as peripheral as a character like Pablo.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And so, like, she's just integrated into the story enough, and we have just enough interactions with her that I'm, like, really hungry for more information about her, and it feels a little bit empty, actually, to not get that information.
Right.
And it's a little disappointing that, like, because this ending is not in the game, like, or that the way that it's written is that, like, you learn more about Mary, and, like, you become the closest you can with Mary through this ending. Like, through being kidnapped and almost murdered by her husband. And then, like, she comes through, and, like, that's the kind of moment that you get with her. And it's a little disappointing that there's not another way in the game for you to get that story. Because it does feel, there's also, like, if I was going to do a critical cultural analysis of the game, what that also communicates is that the only way for you to have a positive relationship with the only other adult woman in the game is for her to rescue you from an evil gay man.
Right.
You know, or a man, or an evil man who is doing gay things for an evil purpose, and you have to be saved by his wife. Like, that.
Right.
So, culturally, and, like, as a text, that, like, even though you're not necessarily, it's not like you are romantically involved with Mary, and it's not like straightness saves you, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, that script, that script plays into a certain idea of, like...
And even so, like, even though we get, you know, more information about Mary through this, we actually really don't get much information about her. Like, we truly... Yeah,
we still don't know really all that much about her.
He just says, oh, I ruined her life. And she says, you took so many years of my life from me. But, like, we really don't know anything about her.
It sounded to me, and yeah, we don't get any confirmation about this, but it sounded to me from that dialogue like she had another partner who was a victim. That's what I thought.
Who do you think?
From that exchange about, like, you took all this time from me, and then when she says, like, who do you think lived in that house before you? And,
I mean, I just assumed that was, like, another one of his victims, like, the last guy that he did this with.
Hang on, oh, shoot. I can't go back. I'm just gonna do this real quick.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you don't get to choose. Oh, that's funny. You don't get to choose. That's really funny. Oh. Christ almighty. Oh, okay, good. Oh, we get the whole dialogue right here. Look at that. That's cool. Okay, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, I just assumed she was saying, like, this is, you know, because he says straight up that, like, he has essentially done this before.
Right.
Or he's at least murdered people that have figured it out.
Right.
I don't know why he chooses us.
Right, and I don't know if there's something in the ending that leads up to, like, because it also, we're clearly on a yacht, so I wonder if Joseph's third date...
It's on a boat.
Is on a yacht.
Yeah, I do know that.
Okay, so this must be, like, so this must have been originally the way that you would get this ending, was if you made particular dialogue choices while on the yacht.
Probably.
That maybe, like, I'm sure that once this was taken out of the game, that then the dialogue on the boat changed, but originally there must have been dialogue where you could start to question, like, hey, wait a minute, that's kind of weird. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
And then, maybe this is what happens.
Yeah, or maybe, because, I mean, he says, you know, like, what he's doing is, like, finding ways to cause this anguish, and then apparently he's having sex for... I don't really understand exactly what the thing is here. Like, I don't really get the lore.
And I think that's also probably part of why they didn't push it out with the
really,
game, because it doesn't really make any sense.
It's kind of like, what's the lore of this creature? Like, if you're gonna go this route, like, I want to know what the lore is.
Right.
And I don't really get it. I don't really get, like, so he's causing all this anguish that this monster or creature needs to feed off of, right? So that's why he made sure that all of these parents were single, because that causes a lot of anguish in their lives. And then also, is he just trying to, like, cause them, like, I don't get if the having sex with these people, like, causes them to sin more, or what? Like, I'm just not sure how that plays into it.
Right. Yeah, so we know he's killed everybody who's figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
He's killed all the partners of all the people who are in the cul-de-sac.
Except for Hugo's ex.
Except for Hugo's ex. Probably.
So he caused all their relationships to end in some way. Whether he was able to cause it to end in divorce and have them move, or I guess if he wasn't able to do that, he just killed them.
Okay. Yeah, how many couples have I pushed to divorce? How many wives and husbands have I hunted in the dark? You know, honestly, what tends to happen is, like, while I'm reading it out loud, I'm thinking about what it's saying, but I don't get the chance to analyze it. Right. I'm just like, since I'm kind of voice acting it, I'm looking for, like, emotional cues, but I'm not necessarily, like, processing the actual, like, information in the dialogue. So yeah, pushed to divorce. How many wives and husbands have I hunted in the dark? Whew. Jesus. Well, we know he didn't kill Amanda's parent.
Right.
So that's good. It requires sacrifice. He needs to feed on those deep, unquenchable pangs of anguish. I think that's a typo. I think that was supposed to be town.
Oh.
Either this is supposed to be town or that was supposed to be tower, but I think this is supposed to be the same word because it's supposed to be, like, generationally.
Right.
Yeah, this is super homophobic.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I guess just, like, causing extra shame.
Yeah.
Is, you know, like, causing more pain is part of it. Like, clearly he's done this. I mean, and maybe, you know, maybe he has had an affair with all of these dads in the town, but has, you know, essentially turned them down afterward because of his marriage to cause more pain.
Well, and I kind of, like, okay, obviously I don't like this ending because it's really fucked up and queerphobic.
Yeah.
But what I do kind of like is the depth that something like this, maybe not this exactly, but something like this might bring to the relationship between Robert and Mary. That, like, maybe everybody else just see Joseph the cool youth minister and, like, whatever, but Robert sees past all the bullshit. That's just who he is. And so for him and Mary, like, he hangs out with Mary more than anybody else, and he's kind of ousted from everybody else because he sees through that facade.
Yeah.
And he knows that Mary's the one who needs support.
Yeah, and, like, he's close with Mary, and I wonder if, I mean, I doubt that she has, like, told him everything, because I have a feeling that if Joseph knew that he would have been killed at some point. But also, like, I don't know if we played it, but I saw something about him having dialogue at some point about how he doesn't like Joseph, just in general.
Robert?
Yeah, Robert, like, doesn't like Joseph. He, like, doesn't like that guy, doesn't trust him.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's on this... We went on the second date, so...
We did go on the second date. We didn't do the third, though.
But we didn't do the third, but if we do the third, then we can't get...
I feel like I remember him saying something like that before,
maybe he did
though.
It the first date. It was just a while ago.
Yeah.
About, like, I don't like that guy, stay away from that guy.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I feel like he, you know, and he also is paying attention to the weird stuff. Like, he knows there's weird stuff going on in town. And he's also fucking around with you sometimes, but, like, he knows there's weird stuff going on.
Oh, yeah. Totally. So. Jesus. That really was Joseph in the woods.
I mean, that's the thing, too, is, like, that's a thing that happened in-game that's referenced here.
Right.
So the thing about it is, like, this is not canonical because it doesn't happen in the game, but also references to things that are established here as, like, exactly what happened do happen in-game. So the question is, like, what are we supposed to make of that? You know, clearly you created the game with the intent of those being foreshadowing, or clues, or something going on. So then, deciding to just take this out but leaving that there, the question is, like, does that mean that this is just... Like, what does that mean about those things that have happened?
Right. Right.
Because there is some weird shit going on in the town. Are we supposed to think that maybe it's a whole other story? Or, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're kind of supposed to, like... I don't know, we can believe that there is something going on, but we'll just never know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can believe that it was just a coyote. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can figure out what, like, we can kind of decide whether we think something is happening or not, but we will never know.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm kind of okay with.
I'm okay with it.
Like, that's fine.
Yeah, it just makes me feel like clearly they created the game with the intent of there being something outside of what happens in the game that is, like, twists it and changes it and is unexpected for the way the rest of the gameplay is. Which I don't have an issue with wanting that.
Yeah.
But clearly they got very far in the process before realizing what this would do to the game.
I see what you're saying.
Overall.
Yeah.
And then did not take those things out.
Yeah.
Either. So, while they decided not to put this in the game and make it canon,
right,
which I think is a good choice, they also left all the clues that really would lead up to this in the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So it feels like we just took out a scene a little bit.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like there are these weird clues, and since they're not canon in-game, we can make what we want of them.
Yeah,
at the same time.
Exactly.
So it's a little, I don't know. Meh. I like, there's a part of me that wishes they had or would write a different ending that still references those things, but isn't this.
Yeah. Or, like, even this would be fine if it wasn't, like, I have to appease my Dark Lord by,
right,
like,
I think that's
making
the line
people
that really...
feel bad about having gay sex. Like,
yeah.
If it was just that he was a murderer...
Right.
Like, okay, that would still be playing into a trope, but it would be like, okay, Joseph is a
dude.
murderer.
Right.
Not Joseph is... Do you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't... Again, his evil would not emanate from him being queer. His evil would emanate from him being evil.
Right.
So, like, I would even accept that. Like, I would accept an ending where Joseph just... It's just blood sacrifices. It's just what it is.
Right. And I think it's just it's really just the specific line about...
It is the specific thing.
About that, like, if he was just doing this in general, and it did not matter, you know...
Yeah.
The sex, the queerness didn't play into it at all, or he didn't reference that at all, it would be like, this is really fucked up and weird, but we've got a whole game full of queer dads.
Right.
And they're lovely, and here's just a murderer who's fucked up.
Yes,
not
exactly.
That he's specifically exploiting that.
Right.
I mean, like, yes, he says that, you know, there are, like, I mean, I guess some of the dads are bi, but, like, you know, he has also destroyed straight relationships.
Right.
And killed, you know, mothers of these children as well. But just the way that line is written and phrased,
it's very...
It's very specific, and I think that's the real problem. Like,
yeah.
It's not awesome. Like, the whole thing is like, this wouldn't be awesome, queer representation. But also, I would just say he's not queer, and he's just a killer.
Right, or even if he is, but, like, this is the thing, like, this is why inclusion and representation in narratives is in everybody's best interest. Mm-hmm. Because when you have multiple characters who are part of one community, or multiple characters who have a particular identity, then you get the creative freedom to have them do things like be cultish murderers or
and it doesn't mean
be
that you're
terrible
saying
people, and they
all
don't.
People are all
right,
queer people are
that
awful.
one character does not stand in or represent an entire community of people or an entire identity, and so that's why people get so pissed off a lot of the time, and writers don't understand. They're like, but you want me to make them a well-rounded three-dimensional person, and then when I do that, you get mad at me. And it's like, yeah, we get mad at you because they're the only person in your game or on your show who is part of my community, and so the only person who I can see myself in is a murderer.
Yeah.
Versus if you have multiple characters who are there are multiple people, so they have multiple different facets to them, then I get to say, oh, well, I don't really identify with that person, but I'm a little bit more with this person, and then, like, I am not like that person at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I still see my identity represented in that.
Right.
So it is really in your best interest to write inclusively and diversely, because then you don't fall into the tropes anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can,
Yeah.
but you are giving yourself more freedom to do that without having to worry about falling into those stereotypes than if you just have one person from a marginalized group of people.
Yep. You really get a lot more opportunities to do different things as well.
Yeah, because, like, shocker, there are, like, different ways to be queer.
Whoa!
Whoa! Different people have different life experiences, even though they share an identity marker.
What?
Wow! It's crazy, I know.
Yeah, it's wild. Wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it.
Wouldn't believe it if I didn't live it. Oh, man. Well, that was worth it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we played it. I wanted to see it in detail, and I'm glad we played it. Just because it's fun to have your own reactions to it without watching someone else's sometimes.
I'm really glad that it's not in the game. Well, and here's the other thing that I wanted to say, too, is that if it had been, like, implemented in the game, and if it is implemented in the game in the future, my suggestion for it would be that I would really like for the sort of... I would like for the clues about it to sort of ramp up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would not want anybody to accidentally fall into this ending.
Yeah.
And I know that kind of takes away some of the mystery and the suspense and the tension of it, but, like, if you are gonna have this kind of ending, if you are going to have an ending where your player thinks they're going to have a nice, pleasant relationship, and they actually end up tied up in a dungeon about to be murdered, particularly considering the rest of the content of the game, I would strongly advise that when your player gets to the point where they are about to make the decision that will put them in this position, it should be made very clear to them, not necessarily what exactly is going to happen, but that the decision you're about to make is about to make some fucked up shit happen.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to reveal what it is and ruin the surprise, but if I thought I was going to go on a nice date with Joseph and ended up in this ending, I would be pissed as shit, and I would shut the game down and I would stop playing. Like, I would be so mad if this caught me off guard.
Especially with the content of the rest of the game and how it's really been talked about and shown. I mean, this is very much the type of game where it's about the relationships that you can foster with these different men, and, like, it is meant to be, like, I mean, it's a queer game. Like, it's straight, like, the game, you don't play this game straight.
Yeah.
You can't.
You can't.
So if you're gonna make a game like that, and then have it have a surprising horror twist ending, like, you really gotta think about what that means to your fan base.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to make a nice, pleasant game and have a surprising twist horror ending in general. It's another to think about, like, how this specific instance, you know, how that affects the people that you're supposedly this game would be for.
Yeah.
Like, and in that situation, it's like, who is the game really for then?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want it to be something where these people get to see representation and get to play these games, you know, making it a situation where it's incredibly unclear, and someone's taken aback, and probably would be made extremely upset by seeing it go down that way. Like, you just gotta think about that a little. Yeah. Which I think is maybe partially why they took it out of the game. Alright.
Alright! Well, that's the cult ending to Dream Daddy. If you want to play this for yourself, I will put a link in the description of the video for the place where you can download the file. All you have to do is download the file and then extract it. And then when you extract that folder, there will be a file that says josephcultending.exe. You just open that up. You don't even have to have the game downloaded to open it. This runs on its own engine. It's its own program. So I will put a link to that in the video description. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming on this crazy adventure with us. Like I've been saying, there may be more videos of Dream Daddy to come. I might record a couple of the other final dates with some other daddies if I have some time. But this was really quick, so it was really easy to just pop in and just do this. So thank you again for watching, and we will catch you all in the next stream or video.
Also, be jealous, we're gonna eat chocolate chip cookies.
It's true! We are! Delicious homemade chocolate chip cookies.
Bye!
Bye! Always my burps. Okay.
Honestly, we wouldn't notice them that much, except for when you announce them.
I know. But I like to be transparent.